everyone, it's Caitlin and welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you some better for you sundae toppings. Memorial Day weekend is coming up, and in celebration of that, I wanted to do something fun because I know a lot of us get together with our family and friends and eat yummy food. And you know, the weather's getting warm, at least up here. Maybe you just don't want to put in a lot of effort, but you want some really yummy and tasty and even healthier results. So I decided to come up with three ingredient sundaes. Well, I guess there's 3 ingredients. There's the ice cream and then 2 other ingredients that are super yummy, super easy for you to make. So if you're going to be grilling or not grilling and you want something fun and easy for dessert, you can make this sundae bar with minimal ingredients and minimal effort, but it's going to deliver on flavor. This video is also proudly sponsored by So Delicious. I am happy to say that I am going to be one of their ambassadors for this year and bringing you guys a lot of fun content with their products. So to start out, we're going to be highlighting the So Delicious mousse, which I have right here. It is a yummy frozen dessert, and it's a little lighter for you than a frozen ice cream. It's whipped and super creamy and fluffy, and actually this dessert was inspired by their cocoa whip, which if you haven't had before, it's like this amazing vegan whipped cream. So it's really light, fluffy, creamy, it melts in your mouth. There are a bunch of different flavors and they all have that fluffy base, but then they all have a swirl of fun flavor. So in this recipe video, I'm going to be working with their strawberry swirl, their salted caramel swirl, and my personal favorite, the peanut butter swirl. So if you want to see what fun sundaes I'm going to whip up inspired by these 3 flavors, go ahead and stay tuned because I'm going to show you right now. Our first sundae is going to be a berry sundae, and we are going to be making a healthy chia jam and topping it with some crunchy coconut flakes as well. And we're going to be using the So Delicious strawberry swirl mousse. For this recipe, it has a great fruity strawberry flavor to it, and it's nice, the perfect balance of tart and sweet. I really enjoy it. It's nice and creamy and fluffy and delicious. So like I said, we're going to be making a healthy chia seed jam for this recipe, and you're going to first need some fresh or frozen berries. I'm just using a frozen berry blend because that's the most affordable and widely accessible at the grocery store. You're going to add that to a nonstick pan with a splash of water and a little bit of maple syrup, and then just really cook this down. Eventually the berries will defrost and it'll look a little bit runny. You can use your spatula here to sort of break up the berries because some of them, like strawberries, don't break up as easily as blueberries or blackberries, which tend to just disintegrate in the pan with heat. But you're just going to simmer this down until all the liquid starts to dissolve, and it will thicken a lot with time. The whole process actually only takes between 5 and 7 minutes. As you can see, it's starting to get a little bit thicker here. And once the mixture has thickened to your liking, we're going to add in a splash of lemon juice as well as our chia seeds. We're going to give this a good stir, and you want to stop cooking the berries while they're still a little bit runny because the chia seeds are going to naturally thicken the jam. So you're going to stir those in and let it sit for a few minutes, and the mixture will thicken from the chia seeds as well as just from cooling. Liquids, as you probably know, naturally thicken more as they cool and come to room temperature. So this is the consistency of my chia seed jam once I let it cool completely. As you can see, it is a lot thicker, it's nicely spreadable, and also a great topping for ice cream. So we're going to assemble our sundae now. We're going to use the So Delicious strawberry swirl mousse and then top that with a few generous dollops of the chia seed jam. You do want to make sure the chia seed jam has cooled completely, otherwise it will melt the mousse pretty rapidly, and unless you want mousse soup, you probably don't want that. And then we're also going to top it with some coconut flakes here. I like this because it adds a nice crunchy component to the sundae, whereas the other elements are a little bit softer and don't have as much texture, and that's pretty much it. So for our next sundae, we're going to be making a peanut butter and banana sundae. And our fluffy and creamy base for this recipe is going to be the peanut butter swirl mousse. This one is so indulgent yet also light. I just love the peanut butter ribbon that runs through the mousse. I mean, I'm a huge peanut butter fan, but I think this is like just the perfect amount of peanut butter, so you get a little bit in every bite, and it's very good, guys. You just need to try it for yourself. So for this recipe, we are going to be topping our mousse with some peanut butter cup granola, and I may have shown you how to make this in a prior video, but it's so good, I'm going to show you again. So we're going to start out by mixing some maple syrup and some creamy peanut butter together in a bowl. And when you get peanut butter, you want to make sure it only has 1 or 2 ingredients, which should just be peanuts and salt. Then you're just going to mix all this together with a spatula until it becomes evenly incorporated, and we're going to add in our rolled oats, some chopped peanuts, and some chia seeds. And that is it for our dry ingredients. So you're going to take a spatula and mix these into the wet ingredients. It may take a little bit, but once everything is evenly coated, you are all set. And you can go ahead and transfer this mixture, this yummy mixture, which I mean, yeah, don't eat it plain, but you could eat it plain, it would be good. Anyways, you're going to transfer it onto a baking tray lined with parchment paper or a silicone mat. I personally prefer to use silicone mats. I find that it makes the granola a little bit more crispy. And you're going to spread it evenly across your baking tray. Then you're going to pop it in the bottom rack of your oven for a few minutes. Take it out, and I would say you flip the granola, but really you're just breaking it up here. Just make sure you mix it around a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfectly flipped, but this just allows the sides to get a little bit more crunchy. Then you're going to pop it back in the oven for a few final minutes, and once it comes out all nice and golden like this, we are going to add our chocolate, which is obviously a very important step. I'm using some dairy-free chocolate chips, but you could also chop up your favorite chocolate bar or use cacao nibs. I personally recommend chocolate chips though, because once you spread them onto the granola, they will melt slightly. And if you want to, you can also slightly mix your granola and the chocolate will become more evenly incorporated throughout the mixture. Personally, I prefer solid chocolate chunks, so I just let it cool completely and the chocolate melts, sticks to the granola, and then once it hardens again, it will stick to some of the pieces and form more chocolate-based clusters. This granola is very, very addicting. I can easily eat it plain, but we are making a sundae today. So we're going to take our peanut butter swirl mousse and again, top it with some clusters of this golden goodness that is chocolate peanut butter cup granola. And then we're also going to add some banana slices for a fruity twist, and because the combo of peanut butter and banana has always been great and will always be great. And then last but not least, we're going to be making a salted caramel brownie sundae. And this one is definitely the most indulgent, but it's still really, really yummy and good for you too. We're going to be using the So Delicious Salted Caramel Swirl Mousse, which not only has a salted caramel ribbon running through it, but it also has tiny pieces of chocolate running through it. And you know, the world is better with more chocolate. So Delicious was on to a good thing here. And guys, just look at that salted caramel like running through it, okay? It is so delicious. Okay, anyways, we are going to be making a 3-ingredient salted caramel sauce for this recipe. And to start out, we're going to add some coconut sugar and full-fat coconut milk to a nonstick baking pan, along with some yellow miso paste, which gives this salted caramel the salty flavor, and it also adds great depth of flavor and more umami to this recipe and really makes it taste more of like a traditional salted caramel, which is normally made with ingredients like refined sugar and butter and heavy cream. But obviously we're not going to be using any of that here. We're just going to whisk these 3 ingredients together in a pan over medium-high heat. And the mixture will start to bubble, and as you can see, there is steam coming off of the pan, and this just means the mixture itself is condensing and thickening, and it's eventually going to thicken into our salted caramel sauce. You do need to whisk this occasionally, but you don't need to whisk it continuously. It shouldn't stick to the bottom of your pan, especially if you're using a nonstick pan. The whole process takes between 10 and 12 minutes, I would say. And as you can see, as the mixture starts to cook, the liquid condenses down and the caramel is going to become darker and darker and more of a traditional caramel color. As you can see here, it gets even darker, and you'll know that this mixture is done when you sort of rapidly whisk it, and you can see that space in the bottom of the pan. That means it's thickened enough, so when you finally let it cool, it will continue to thicken even more, and you have this really rich and luscious caramel sauce that is actually refined sugar-free and dairy-free and still really yummy. I drizzle this on like anything dessert related. But again, today we're going to be putting it on our sundae. So first though, we're going to be putting up some chopped brownie chunks. I'm using my almond butter brownie recipe. You could use any dairy-free recipe that you'd like. I will link the almond butter brownie recipe below. I didn't want to include it in this video because I have filmed a separate YouTube video for it already. So I will link it here in the video, and it will also be linked below. But then we're going to top it with our salted caramel sauce. Again, you probably want this to cool a little bit so it doesn't melt your mousse, unless you're going for that hot fudge sundae kind of vibe, except salted caramel. You do you, and either way, I promise it's gonna be really delicious. And there you have it, guys. We have 3 delicious, yummy sundaes that you can make for your family and friends, and all you really have to do is prep 5 to 6 ingredients. And even though I decided to go with these 3 sundaes, you could totally switch things up with the toppings and do your own thing. Maybe you want to make a PB&J one with the peanut butter swirl mousse and some chia jam, and you know, maybe add some brownies too, maybe like a chocolate PB&J. I don't know, either way, these look really delicious and I'm going to try them for you. The thing I love about the So Delicious mousse too is that it's super creamy and fluffy straight out of the pint, because I'm one of those impatient people who doesn't like to wait when my frozen stuff is hard. So it's nice that it's super delicious on its own. Ooh. I love the strawberry flavor in this one. It's like strawberries and cream, but it has that really indulgent like mouthfeel to it too. And it complements really well with the chia jam. It's like very fresh and berry and fruity, which I think is perfect for this time of year. And then here we have our peanut butter swirl mousse with our peanut butter cup granola and some banana pieces. So I'm gonna try to get a little bit of everything. What can I say? I'm just a huge peanut butter fan and I love how the flavor really comes out. And I also like how you can actually see the swirl in these. Great combo. Can't go wrong with that. And then last but not least, we have our salted caramel brownie flavor. And honestly, I'm not a huge fan of salted caramel in terms of store-bought goods, but the So Delicious salted caramel mousse and also their salted caramel cluster ice cream are like, I'm obsessed with them. They're some of my favorite ice creams. So it's interesting, but some other salted caramel stuff I don't really like, but this stuff is like really good. Oh yeah, actually, I don't know, man. This one's giving peanut butter a run for its money. Those almond butter brownie chunks. Honestly, all these are really good, and I think if you have this wide variety of toppings and the 3 flavors of the So Delicious mousse, you could probably have something for everyone, whether they're vegan or not. I think they are going to enjoy it. And that about sums it up for this video. Thanks again to So Delicious for sponsoring, and let me know in the comments below what your favorite flavor of the So Delicious mousse is. I said mine was peanut butter. Salted caramel is definitely a close second, but okay, they're all really good, but I'm gonna have to stick with those 2. Strawberry's good too though. And while you're down there, leave me a comment letting me know if you liked this sort of video idea where it's more entertaining party recipes, and go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel and you like what you see here, you can also feel free to hit that little subscribe button right down there. I post 1 to 2 new videos every single week. And as always, all the relevant recipes will be linked below, so if you want to make your own little sundae bar, you can go ahead and do that. Ooh, and if you do, please take a picture and tag me on Instagram because I would love to see it. I hope you guys have an awesome day, whatever time of day it is for you, and I hope you have a great Memorial Day weekend too, or if you're watching this after Memorial Day, just have an awesome day in general. Alright guys, I will see you in the next video. Bye!